Hello, Veronica.
I'm still here, just one moment. We are going live right now. We are not yet live. Yes. Good afternoon and warm greetings to all of you, or good morning. It depends on what country are you watching us right now. Today with you is Veronica Seban from Elite Global Leadership Club, and I am presenting to you the interview session with George Dubec, known as the most top marketer. And I would love to invite our top marketer to introduce himself and to tell us more about his career journey.
Okay, my name is George Dubec, and I'm marketing myself as the ultimate networker. I've been around the block a long time. I'll be 77 years old. I've run and organized and owned many businesses. I've been an engineer at General Motors. I've written books. I've had my own radio show. I've been in movies. I've been on TV. There's almost nothing that I haven't done. I'm a public speaker, a best-selling author. I'm worn out. So I've done many things. And now my big initiative is a brand new reality dating show called The Love List, which is going to revolutionize the dating world and the matchmaking world all over the world.
Wow, it seems very, very exciting and super challenging simultaneously. How did you get up to the idea to create such show? So what is the pain in the society that you would like to heal?
Well, I used to run the largest singles network in South Florida back from 1985 to 1992. My wife and I ran an organization called the Find a Mate Singles Network in South Florida. We had 10,000 people in our database. We used to teach courses called Find a Mate at the different colleges in the area and educational programs. I had a national infomercial where I sold cassette tapes. But in 1991, my wife became pregnant and we sold the business because it was so intensive to be involved in events and parties and educational programs and teaching and training and running a business. So my wife got pregnant and we sold the business and we got into the high-tech world. And we started a company called Cirrus Streaming, which we still operate. It's the second largest podcast radio streaming company in the United States. It's called Cirrus Streaming. And my wife and partner run the company. And I retired from it about 10 years ago. And I did various projects and so forth. And finally, I was going to do a reality TV show about business networking, which I wrote 6 books about. And then a lot of people came to me and I started to see that the single scene was it was such a disaster for people to be single in today's world. I said, well, I'm going to take all my experience, background, and skills and my business networking skills and combine it and teach people how to do what I call social networking, using their network of friends, family, neighbors, and associates, and even new people they meet, use them as a referral source to help them find the right candidate for a potential lifetime partner.
Wow, it sounds amazing. Seeing the fact that we are on the Elite Global Leadership Club platform and I am interviewing the top leaders or the most driving and top experience around the world, I would love to ask you, what is the definition for you in your conversation about the leadership?
Okay, well, leadership is, in fact, before we went on the air, we talked a little bit about it. Leadership is all predicated on the group or organization or category that you're leading. It's very difficult for you unless you're selected to be the leader. Now, the opposite side of the coin is if you're starting your own initiative or campaign or business, and you become the leader of that because you chose to develop your organization. So whichever one, either a group chooses you or you become the leader of your own initiative, then what you do is then you want to hone the skills necessary to lead that group. Like, for example, if you want to become a coach on a sports team, it has different leadership skills than if you're going to run a business. Some of them overlap, but there's a lot of nuances, a lot of different things that you have to acquire. And one of the big things about leadership is it's basically a timely thing, and you can't learn it. It's experience and background in a particular area. Like if you want to be a coach of let's say a National Football League team, most of the coaches have already had experience being a player or a previous coach in high school or college. So a lot of leadership is about your experience and background, which is a thing that you acquire over time, just that knowledge.
Oh, thank you so much. It makes absolutely huge sense. And in my opinion, we have to categorize our audience and to target it very well before we are choosing whom to help, what type of category of people we would love to help. My next question to you is about professional networking and why. The professional networking and the quality of the networking is of the utmost importance for our business crowd, but as well for our professional development.
Right. Well, I wrote quite a few books on business networking. And where I start is I have what's called performance tracking. And the one thing that people don't realize is how good of a networker are you before you start educating and learning how to become a better networker. So I have a test in my book. You have to test yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, how good of a networker you are right now. Now, this is very interesting, okay? Before I wrote the book and I put the test together, I considered myself on a scale of 1 to 10, I consider myself an 8 as a networker, a very top of the list. Now, what was interesting is after I created my test with all the different strategies, techniques, and things that you should be doing as a good networker, I retook the test and I only came out to be a 6. So I rated myself as an 8 in my mind, but when I actually took the test, I wasn't as good as I thought I was. And that brings up another principle that talks about leadership and self-improvement and everything is most people think they're better than what they are. So what you have to do is and this goes along with leadership too, and networking, is ask other people how they would rate you as whatever, a leader, a husband, a boss, is to get evaluations of how good you really are from other people. And nobody, I would say almost nobody does that. Nobody ever asks for other people's opinion about themselves. And even if you want a good relationship with your husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend, you should ask them about you. Say, how do you think of me so far? How do you rate me? What am I doing wrong? What don't you like about me? And people are afraid to do that. Because again, people think they're better than what they are. Anyway, so there you go. That's my
but this is fascinating and very insightful. Because I am daring to ask the people whom I am surrounded by to tell their opinion about myself. And one of the reasons why I'm doing it is because I want to grow. I want to improve myself to the better. And also to be a role model for all the people, for my family as well, for my daughter. I am not getting offended when someone is, I know, is admitting my mistakes or is mentioning, look, so you are mistaken in this case. I am apologizing and I am admitting my mistakes, which is a very, very powerful quality, having the ability to admitting your own mistakes, which means that you make room for growth. That's what we have to understand. I mean, all together. And now, so let's move to.
Well, let me just mention one interesting concept. There's a popular TV show in America called Undercover Boss. Have you ever heard of the show?
No.
Okay, well, anyway, the boss and owner of a company or a franchise or whatever, they put on a makeup and a costume, and they go into one of their offices or buildings or factories, and they tell everybody that they tell them that they're a new hired worker. And they come in there and they don't know that this is the owner of the company. So the owner gets to see what's going on without talking to anybody or asking even for opinions. He gets to actually review what's really negative and bad that's going on. And it's amazing. So that is what, again, most bosses are afraid to find out what's really going on because they think they're good. So those are really important things to evaluate yourself from the outside in.
Yes, I am always doing this, and I am very, very happy that I do have this quality, and I am humble. And being humble, you give yourself the opportunity for growth and for improvement as well. Because when you do that, you make also a stronger connection with your team, with the people that are dedicated to your company or organization. So the next question that I would love to ask you is let's talk about collaborationships. Yeah. So how important are the collaborationships for a business owner? And not only that, but as well building up so that authority and credibility in the market.
Well, that's for most business owners, that's kind of a sore spot. Everybody, especially in America, are competing. They don't like to collaborate with people in their same industry or category. Everybody is trying to outdo the other guy, get more sales, be number one. It's really kind of difficult. It's not in the culture to actually collaborate with other people. Everybody's very, very stingy and protective of their clients, of their business. And I find that collaboration is something that you have to develop the desire to do that, where most people are just too competitive, especially, like I said, in the US. I don't know how it is in other parts of the world, but very difficult to collaborate with people here.
I think that there is a huge lack of empathy and compassion. And there is also a huge lack of knowledge in building up relationships or properly in constructing relationships, especially professional relationships, because I am an expert in personal development. And from what I am experiencing in my own business, many people are, when I am reaching to them out, they are reacting. I don't know how to say that, but in a very weird way. They are very distant. Yeah, instead to move forward, to collaborate, they are keeping distance, which is wrong. Like I am suggesting, like, to all the business owners, leaders, coaches, give this space to the people to learn more about you, but give them the space also, you know, to make a connection with you. How are you experiencing it in your own career along the years? Because you do have so many years of experience in business. And how did you build up your relationships?
Well, like I said, most people are very defensive. Also, they fear that you're going to do something and ruin their business or take their clients or whatever it is. But I'm opposite. I'm very open. I look for partnerships and collaboration with everybody I can possibly connect with. And as you said, most people are standoffish. and they're afraid of that. They don't maybe know how to do it. So it's very difficult, but the only thing you could do is show people that you're honest, and you help them first. I always ask people, how can I help you? What are you looking for? Are you looking for money, for resources, for new employees? Are you looking for maybe a new place to locate your business? Because maybe I have somebody that I can help you with. So I think that's the best way to start, is to offer help and support. And then once they build some kind of a trust or rapport with you, then you maybe have a chance to collaborate and be a partner.
So I am based in the Netherlands, and we are using this proverb here: break the ice, which means that most of the business owners and leaders, they have to learn how to break that ice, like to break that barrier, because that's an emotional barrier, and many people are creating a kind of imagination and are experiencing anxiety, based on their experiences. But what I am doing personally, I would love also to share some tips, the way how I am building up relationships around the world properly today. I have had some English classes on a professional level. I am striving always to improve my English skills. And my teacher said to me that he moved from the United States properly for this reason that you are mentioning, that he got so exhausted and tired of the behavior of the people, not for something else, not for another reason. But what I am personally doing to build up my relationships and to extend them globally, I am giving always gifts in different forms, like an interview, maybe an online magazine cover, and many other things, free master classes. What I'm experiencing, that many people are finding that very weird, because I am not charging money for those gifts. But because I am real expert, specialized in communication science, marketing science, branding, and business development, I know how to do that. In generally, not only in business, but as well in the real life. Guys, when do you build up a relationship with a woman? What are you doing to get the attention of that woman? Especially if you like that woman so much, like you are giving anything, right? Or you are doing anything possible to get that woman. In the business, it works by the same way, exactly by the same way. Like you have to unleash, that power within you, and to dedicate yourself doing that with real love and passion. And that's exactly what I am doing. Like I am very open to the people. Of course, that I am selecting out the people, and I am collaborating with the people that I can help and grow, and that I can build up reciprocal, really beautiful and powerful relationships. And I am giving them gifts. So recently I have given an online magazine cover to someone, to few of my directors of the Elite Global Leadership Club. So I do have someone in my team who is the general director of the Elite Global Leadership Club in Italy, for example. And today, together with my team, we have designed an online magazine cover, and we have bestowed it. And on the magazine cover, we have promoted here fashion branding, which is amazing. So what you have to understand, that this is a method to build up reciprocal relationships. If you are expecting that the people are gonna do for you something without giving anything, that's not gonna work. That's why.
Also, you have to be careful or be aware of one thing. If you do give a lot, there's still a percentage that it won't work, because a lot of people take advantage of you. You give them, but they don't give back. They don't reciprocate. So be prepared. I always say, I expect the worst. That some people say that's a negative attitude, but when I'm doing stuff for people, I don't expect anything back. I'm doing it because I care, I want to help them, and I hope that they reciprocate. But it's still not a guarantee.
But we are making agreements between us, you know, like, because we work together, so we are making crystal clear agreements to grow together. And like, it's a win-win situation for every one of us, which is very, very relevant and very smart, in my opinion. At least that's my experience that I have also experienced along the years in all type of companies that I have had, because like you, George, I have had also different type of companies. And Elite Global Leadership Club, it's almost my 6th company. Yeah, I am an entrepreneur for 20 years. So since a very
you
young
definitely,
age.
like from the first time I met you, you exude the idea of being a partner and helping everybody and collaborating. So it just seems like that's in your DNA. You just, you don't even have to fake it, because that's the way you are. You just somehow naturally have it. Some people have to learn how to be that way. You must have been that way all your life, because it seems like that's your personality.
I think so, because I'm not noticing it, but today properly, because I was having so very profound and professional conversations with my English teacher, and I was telling him that I am a born giver, and many years ago I was thinking that this is a weakness, but it seems that after so many coaching programs, after having so many mentors, it seems that this is a very, very powerful quality of a real leader, because a real leader has the ability to create opportunities for the people whom he is surrounded by, and also to lead them to create a better life. And that's what I am seeing, or the way how I am seeing it. How do you see that when someone has these qualities? How do you define that, and how could you advise?
Well, like I said, most people are not like that. They're defensive. So you have to break the ice, like you said, and figure out a way to promote them or help them or give them a gift or whatever. And it's just, you can just tell right away as soon as you talk to somebody. If you know body language, you can tell it in their voice, how defensive they are. Immediately, most people are defensive. They put up that front. They don't. You can tell they're not comfortable. And again, if you're a good people reader, if you can tell by their voice, like for example, I got to learn women very good when I was single, because you and I talked about this before. At one point in my life, I was what was called a player. I learned what I had to say and do to make a particular female like me. So it's the same kind of thing. You kind of have to read that person that you're doing business with and figure out what do I have to do to make this person, create rapport with them. Again, do I have to give them a gift? Do I have to help promote their business? Do I have to send them a referral as a client? You got to find that hot button.
Yes. In my country of origin, we are saying that you have to find out the key to open the heart of a woman. Yeah. But in business, what do you need to find it out to open the I mean, the door to success.
Yeah, well, like I said, some people, nothing will work, but you know, even such things as sending somebody a gift in the mail. Like I remember back when I used to work for General Motors, I was a purchasing agent, and all these guys wanted to get business with General Motors, so they had to go through me to get approving their parts. And man, I'm telling you, they would send me gifts, turkeys deliver turkeys on Thanksgiving, give me tickets to football games. So you can see that somebody that wants to win you over, that they almost overwhelm you with stuff. So if you really want to work with somebody, you almost have to overwhelm them. You can't just do one or two things. You got to keep, you know, it's almost like pounding on it, pounding until you find that key. I have a fun story about relationships. I think most people in the USA and maybe in the world know this famous coach and trainer, Grant Cardone.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, well, he's a very interesting character because his style is that he is persistent, consistent, and relentless. And he teaches that you pretty much take emotion out of it. You just figure out how to work with people, what do they need, what do you need, and work together. But when he met his now wife, this was a fascinating story. He was at a convention or one of his events, and this beautiful blonde was there. He met her. They exchanged phone numbers. He called her up a couple of times, and she just completely, no, I'm not interested. He never gave up. He kept contacting her, sending her emails, letters, calling her. A year later, they wound up getting married. He did not give up. He tried to create rapport, try to call her, send her gifts. It didn't work, but he kept at it. So sometimes if you really want to connect with somebody, sometimes you have to just overwhelm them and keep doing it until they get the message. But
Well,
then again, sometimes nothing works. I always want to add that to the end. Nothing works all the time for everybody. That's one of my universal rules.
wow, this sounds literally fascinating. You know what? When I was studying here in the Netherlands at the university, one of my professors was all the time mentioning that the most powerful and best ideas in the world about business have always been rejected. Have you ever heard about it? And I remember that he mentioned that one of the American businessmen has presented that project not about 9 times, about 9 times. Every single year he was going back, every single year, because they gave to him an interval of an year to go back to improve it till he met the right person. You know, sometimes you need really in life to meet the right person who can believe in you, who has the ability to see that profound value within you and to approve. Sometimes we are saying that we don't need the approval of another people, but that's not true. Absolutely no, because we depend on the on the social opinion. We depend on the social approval, especially when it comes about business. What is your opinion in this regard, George?
Well, one of the other universal truths is all you need in life is one person. One person can make you super successful. Not the public, not everybody. One person sees your value, your idea, your business, your invention, and they have the money, the resources, and everything to take you to the next level. That's all you need, just that one person. For example, in America, are you familiar with the old Oprah Winfrey show?
Yes.
She was on for, I don't know, 30 years or whatever. But it was funny because if you got to be on her show with any product, if somebody got on her show and had a book, it would instantly become a bestseller. If Oprah Winfrey endorsed your book, you're going to sell 1 million copies. One person, Oprah, the book could be garbage. And Oprah Winfrey, who knows how smart she is? I don't know. She just got to be famous. That doesn't mean she knows more than me or you, but she got famous. She got exposure. She brings people on her show. She promotes it, and it sells 1 million copies. There you go.
It's amazing. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing this example with us, with me, and with our audience. Because properly yesterday, I was on a masterclass on Clubhouse on the room with Forbes Riley.
Oh yeah, I know. In fact, my daughter used to work for her.
I love so much the power and confidence of the woman is just tremendous and unbelievable. The way how she presents herself, it's just very contagious positively. Like she is attracting everyone. And what do you think that is the secret? Her confidence.
Well, the number, okay, Forbes Riley reminds me of a female Grant Cardone. These people, and here's the key, and I'm trying to learn this better myself, is take all the emotion out of your presentation, yourself, your business, your ideas. Don't worry about what anybody thinks. Because as soon as you start to worry about what somebody thinks about your business, your proposal, or even your presentation, like if you're a salesman, if you're worried that somebody's going to say no, you're never going to sell anything. You're going to be dejected. You're going to feel despondent. So it's like you just have to be a bull in a china shop. And for some reason, most people cannot do that. So when somebody is like that, you look at them and you go, wow, they're amazing. No, they're just different. Nobody is like that. So it's very rare to see a person that can shut down their emotion and be totally forward and confront you and say what they think. In fact, I'm not a fan either way of Donald Trump. Okay, I don't care about him, but he's another one. He doesn't care what anybody thinks, and people love him. Isn't that amazing?
Absolutely.
I mean, he's actually, and if you want to say he's almost a criminal. In fact, you know who else people used to love? Mafia bosses. You know that? They're actually corrupt, criminal killers, but they are so strong and so forward and so unemotional. Their strength attracts people.
I love that. So I love to use our inner power. I am calling that an inner power, and that's true. So this is our real inner power that we don't need to give a fuck. So sorry for the expression, but that's true, because if the more you pay attention to your emotions, the more you are blocking yourself. Right. I am talking very often about this topic during my live streams. I loved a lot what mentioned yesterday Forbes Riley. You know, like she said, you have to realize the reason for why are you living so on the earth. So what's your mission, and how are you gonna fulfill your mission? How are you gonna contribute, to the humanity and to teach them something or to heal their pain? And that's all.
Well, there's kind of a double-edged sword, because the majority of people never find their purpose or their mission. Because they go to school, they go to college, they get a 9-to-5 job, they have kids and a family. Like I see people, because I'm a visionary and I've been around a long time, I can look at average people and I can see the qualities in them. And I see people all the time and I go, it's so sad. That person's never going to optimize his talent because his situation doesn't allow it. He'll never get out of that situation. He's got too much involved, too much invested. I mean, in my own family, I see people in my family, I go, I feel so bad because they could become a superstar, but the situation doesn't allow it. They don't have the right platform. They're not in the right, arena. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. You have to take yourself out of your environment to accomplish great things. And most people are never going to do that.
The most common question that I am getting by most of the people, how do I get all these global connections? What I am
Well, the
doing,
global connections are fascinating with all this, look, I'm talking to you. It's amazing that you and I met. I mean, in 20 years ago, we would have never had an opportunity to meet.
yes, absolutely, yeah. But the way how I am doing, I am just, I don't mind about emotions. That's the first aspect that I am doing. I am not thinking about that. I am totally focused on my objective, and I am always mentioning that I am on a mission to serve the humanity, but literally, like from the bottom of my heart. It doesn't mean that I don't have emotions, but properly on that moment, like I am putting forward, my purpose, not my emotions. I can be emotional at home with my family, with my daughter, with my mom, but not in business because I have learned it. What caught my attention as well, that some women that I am surrounded by, they are weak, and they are judging based on emotions, which in my opinion it's absolutely wrong. What do you think about it? So if we really want to grow in business, so what tips could you give to our audience?
Well, that emotion is an interesting subject because I firmly believe that eventually all of the human race is going to become unemotional, and we're going into what's called transhumanism, because you can't accomplish things with a human being. The standard human being right now, organism, is an emotional creature. Okay, humans in general, without any training or teaching, are emotional, right? They're born
Absolutely.
emotional, little, like I have a 1.5-year-old granddaughter. She's emotional. Her whole persona is emotion, crying and feeling angry and mad and funny, and she has no control of it. It's just constant emotion. So eventually what's going to happen, in order for us to accomplish without destroying ourselves, we have to get rid of emotion, this competitiveness, fighting, drama, backstabbing, all of this stuff. And that's all caused by human emotion. So how are we going to, certain people, like you said, Forbes Riley, Grant Cardone, you're working on it, I'm working on it to try to control our emotions. But the majority of people don't even understand that concept. So all we can do is lead certain people in our little circle, and hopefully that'll permeate and they'll become better themselves. So, but right now it's a long process because people are still very backward.
Backward. I love the term that you were using, backward. Yeah. What do you think that is the solution? So what should we
Well,
do?
first of all, I'm big on training, not education. I don't believe in education. If you don't implement your education, it's worthless. Reading, you could read 100 books, right? And if you don't take one idea from one of those books and implement it, it's a total waste of time. In fact, I don't read anymore. I look for information, I look for strategies and ideas, and I look how to implement them. So the only way we're going to do it is we're going to have to train kids in schools. And until we come up with some kind of a training regimen to teach all kids when they get in school how to control their emotions and how to be more effective and make better decisions, we're going to continue to have this problem, because it'll be one generation after another, the same thing. And then, like on television, all the TV shows are what? Based on emotion. Love, violence, murder, anger. That's what sells.
That's true. Drama. Lots of drama.
Right? Yeah. What is it? The Real Housewives shows. Have you seen those yet?
Yeah. Like yes. Sometimes when I have the time.
They're Real Housewives, and they're yelling at each other and fighting and throwing things at each other, and they got hate, and they're vicious and jealous. And the American public loves to watch that. Like, it's crazy. The one guy on TV that they used to have, remember Dr. Spock in Star Trek? The guy with the big ears? He was totally unemotional, very factual, rational, logical. So everybody on the ship would turn to him when they had to make a decision, because he was the only unemotional, rational, logical person. So that's where we're at. We've got a spaceship full of people that are emotional, irrational, and we got a few people that have control.
It makes me laugh because the Netherlands, it's a business country. So the education and the mentality of the people in general here, it's very pragmatic and practical. This is properly the Dutch culture. So many people, I think they should come to the Netherlands to learn some business lessons, you know, or trainings, to get some business trainings and to master the right business mindset. Because here, when you are going to a meeting, the people, it's very relaxed. They don't mind about anything properly. Like, they are very polite, friendly. They are living the momentum. That's all, you know. And when it comes to business, they are doing real business, and everything has to be official.
Well, you know, I saw a poll somewhere. They take these polls all the time, but they said the happiest country in the world is Finland. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. That whole area has a lot of similar type attitudes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because again, when you're more pragmatic and you're more logical, things are better, and everything works better. So maybe we should all take a trip over to see you.
Yes. Yeah, I
Well, that's what you should do. You should have, in a year from now, all these people that you're bringing together, you should have like maybe a big Veronica convention.
Yeah, we have been talking about that, and we are really aiming and striving to organize global events, in-person events, by the Elite Global Leadership Club and award conferences. So there are many people that they know me. Till now, we have been organizing, and we are still organizing summits and online conferences, masterclasses, and webinars from now on. So then we are aiming to organize physical events around the globe. So people who
hey, before I forget, I might have sent you the information, but I'll tell you now, and we'll do it after the interview. But the Global Trade Chamber here in South Florida, they're doing it's called the 100 Successful Women Professional Events, and they do them all over the world. They did one in India. They're doing one in the Philippines. They do them in different cities. I'm going to have to connect you with them because, again, it sounds like you can collaborate. They're already putting these events together.
Yes, like I am today. So I want to share this with you, guys. If your business doesn't work, it means that there is something wrong with you, not with someone else. So it might be, you know, like a psychological or emotional blockage, but what you need to do is to just leave your comfort zone and your emotion outside. Just focus on your growth, focus on collaborationships, because the more emotional you are getting, the more you are blocking yourself. That's the key to success.
Yeah, you know, Veronica, that you brought up another good point that I'm going to discuss is too many people that have business projects, ideas, inventions, or even run a business have this ego. They won't. Not only won't they have a problem collaborating with people, they have a problem listening to people with better ideas. They won't listen unless they think it's their idea. You have to almost figure out how to make it their idea before they'll implement it. I find that to be, I've got so many great ideas I share with business owners, and it's almost like it goes right over there. They don't pay attention.
Like you need to surround yourself with a group of people that they believe in you. That's exactly what I was mentioning so previously. People that they are seeing real value in your projects, and they believe in your capacity, in your potential. That's all. So like if one of them, even if they are financiers, investors, because there are different types of investors, and if it's the case that you need an investor, I think that you should surround yourself with some of these people, to invest in your project and to make a deal, and then it's done. Like you said to me from the beginning of the interview, because I have been working with financiers in the Netherlands, in Turkey, France as well. I have been collaborating with the European Union Parliament as well, because I have been involved in a local country project that I have created here in the Netherlands. And I know exactly how does it work. That's why for me it's very easy to build it up, because I do have a solid foundation, a solid background. Plus my dad has been always involved in politics. Like I have been raised in a such environment, and I think that it plays, the fact that you are raised in a such family, it plays a fundamental role on your behavior, on your awareness as well. How do you perceive the world? So regarding, could you share also some examples maybe about investments, because there are many people that doing networking and that they are looking properly for investors, financiers, because there are many types of investors.
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody today's, there's so many people looking for money for projects, inventions, businesses, movie projects. And the problem is, again, they don't know how to go about it. What I found out is investors only like to invest in things that they like certain business categories. Like if they like movies and TV, they're only going to invest in movies and TV. They might just like real estate. I know people that's all they want to invest in, real estate. So you got to make sure that when you're promoting or pitching an idea, you're targeting the right people. Again, it's like matchmaking for dates and mates. It's the same thing. You got to find out, where's your target audience? Who likes to invest in real estate? Where do they go? How do you meet these people? So if you're looking for money, you got to figure out what target market would be willing to invest in your project, and then figure out where do they go? How do you meet them? And how can you get introduced to these kinds of people? So it's a matchmaking process again.
Yes, I think so. How does it work in the United States, the business cycles, and how easily are you allowed to get in?
Well, the best way to get money is through your network. Again, that's why I tell people, build a network up. Even before you start looking for money or looking for a project or funding, get as many people in your network, lawyers, accountants, people that own businesses. If you have a big network, you can reach out to your network and have them potentially refer you to accredited investors and people that they know. So, start with your warm market, as they say. Connecting your friends, family, associates, tell them what you're looking for, what you're doing. And that's the best way to start.
Yes, I think so, but there are also grants, funds by the government.
That's what I'm involved right now, because I'm a big networker. I have privy to a tremendous amount of US government money in the United States. There's reimbursements on expenses for research and development. There's the ERC tax refund program. We have payment credits for taxes in advance. We have a Florida training program where employers can get up to $3,500 per employee to train them from the state. I mean, there's so much out there that business owners, again, they have no idea it's available. We have a grant program. You have to pay the underwriter $5,000 to write a grant for the government, but you can ask for up to $1.8 million. And if the government approves, they'll cut you a check. It's like
Fascinating.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
And people don't know about it.
No, I know about these possibilities because I have been involved. I have been working through my company. My first company in consultancy, was specialized in project management and project development. And because of that, I have been creating projects in Europe. But it has opened new opportunities to me and many connections here in the Europe.
Veronica, if you have any business owners that you know in the United States that are looking for funding, give them my information, because I have access to investors, government funding. Again, I'm the ultimate networker.
So I am very honored to having you on the Elite Global Leadership Club platform. And today with you has been Veronica Seban, the owner of the Elite Global Leadership Club and Business Power Academy, and George Dubec. So George, as he has mentioned, is a professional networker. So thank you so much for having you on my platform. And I see you all in the next interview with my next guest. So blessings to everyone and take care.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.